The first off, appreciate the fans staying to the end of the game. Fans were awesome. Wagner played at a super high level. They went into VCU and beat a really good VCU team badly at their place. They're just tough, and very disappointed in our level of toughness. Just from strong with the ball, making free throws. I did not think we showed very much toughness. I thought Tyler battled pretty hard. I think we had a really hard time on offense, and then that I think impacted us a little bit defensively. But you got to give them credit; they made threes and got it right to the front of the rim. That was a very good team that played well, and we were about as awful in most phases that you could be.
You guys making progress with the offense the last two games. You feel this just a temporary roadblock for the momentum that you guys were making?
Well, I sure hope so. I mean, like they did a good job pressuring us, but we were just soft with the ball. I mean, we got it in traffic. You try to explain it and you try to show it on film. Clearly, the coaches failed because our job is to get the guys ready. And from the start of the game, they ripped the ball out of our hands multiple times. Now, we are a perimeter heavy team, meaning we've got to get shooting and scoring from the guards. That's kind of how we're built. Jalil got us off to a good start and kept us hanging in there. But the other guards, really, we couldn't get in much rhythm. I thought we got down, and then it's hard not to get a little sense of panic. When that thing got to 10, 11, and they're scoring every time, it's hard to have long possessions, but you have to have the discipline to get some multiple drives, multiple touches, which we didn't do nearly as well as we needed to. We haven't been in that situation where we've been down like that and needed you're down 10, 12, it gets to 14, and you really just need to grind the game a little bit, and we got a little quick trigger at that point, and then it just kind of snowballed. And then once it gets to 18, 20, your only chance is a big run and some quick scoring, which we took the shots quickly, but we didn't make them.
With Elijah on crutches, what is his injury and what is the timeline?
Yeah, we don't even have a timeline yet. It's a lower body injury with a leg that we're expecting it to be a while. We're hopeful that he'll get back, but it's certainly not going to be anytime soon. I mean, he's still on crutches, so we certainly have to find a way to play better for an extended period of time because it's he's not going to be back quickly.
With the the four transfers coming in and this whole a lot of chemistry has to be developed over these early weeks. Did you think that was going well, and was this kind of a setback? Really?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think we had played very well our last four games. We had won 3 of them, but even the game we lost in overtime on the road. That gave ourselves a chance to win at the buzzer regulation. I think we were playing pretty good basketball coming into tonight, and then the second half tonight was about as bad as you could really play. I mean, there just weren't a lot of positives in that second half on either end of the floor. But as I told the guys, it's a long year. You lose by 1, you lose by 29. It counts once. But I mean, we played Kansas more competitively than we played tonight. So that's we've got to be tougher. That's just the bottom line. We've got to be tougher than that.
You called the timeout 40 seconds into the second half, then another one 2 minutes later. Just what message were you trying to send to your players?
Well, we were trying to get across the necessary level of effort that we clearly failed. We tried that at halftime. We were down 7. We come out, they score, they press. The ball goes into one of our forwards, and we have 2 ball handling guards. Its responsibility is to get open. Neither one of them get open. We end up throwing it away, and they get a fast break basket. So now 7's 11. So that's why we called the first timeout, because we literally came out and didn't do either thing that we talked about at halftime. So, and then it went from 11. It got to, they hit a couple threes, I think, in a row on the second one. And we were just talking about competing. And at some point in there, it became, forget the score, try to play the right way. Let's try to find a rhythm. We gotta play better. You're gonna have some bad performances over a 31 game season, but we never really were able to make any kind of a dent in the second half. We had a few good offensive possessions, but then we couldn't get a stop. So you can't really chip away at a lead without stops, and we didn't stop them at all. I mean, they were 20 for 25, like we said. So you're not going to tighten the game down just because you hit a three. If you just go give up another three, or what, you didn't accomplish anything. So we are, as bad as we were on offense, we were worse on defense, I thought.
In terms of finishing inside, what do you see that, let
Just not very tough. I mean, I thought that we got the ball around the rim and we jumped away from the basket, and we didn't really shot fake and pivot and go through contact like we've been doing. And those are things we need to get back to and address. But I trust our guys. They're older guys. They've been playing a while. I mean, it's a rare when you have that many guys have an off night on the same night. Usually you have, you don't play well, but you've got a couple guys that, so-and-so played well, but we didn't play very well. But we just couldn't get really anybody on track.
So you kind of feel you were out of sync offensively?
100%. And I thought it really showed throughout. I mean, it was the whole night that it was an issue. I mean, we were a little better against zone. We really need to be able to throw the ball inside and draw some fouls and get some, better results. But I mean, when you take a team that is by all accounts very perimeter heavy, that's got a lot of ability to make threes. We came into tonight in the top 100 of the country in 3-point shooting, and we go 8 for 17 at the foul line. So, a lot of things, give Wagner a lot of credit. They certainly deserve to win the ball game, but we can't have bad free throw shooting on top of bad 3-point shooting tonight, on top of not finishing around the rim. I mean, there weren't offensively a lot of big, pluses, to be quite honest. I mean, I wish I could give you a little more wordy response, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you're not making free throws and you can't make an open three and you're not finishing around the rim, I don't know what other shot there is in the game. We've pretty much covered them all.
And I guess the last thing would be, do you think do you think the chemistry will come around by conference time?
Well, yeah, I think it's been better. I mean, tonight I'm hoping was a blip. I'm hoping that we just were out of sync and had a bad performance. But we can't quick trigger jumpers like we did. But our movement was slow and sluggish early. I mean, we didn't have good pace to us. We didn't have good pace throughout the whole game offensively, just in terms of body and player movement or ball movement. I thought we were a little stuck in mud at times offensively.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
All right, guys. Thanks.